Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2019 general readings, mid-month general readings. So we're looking at the last half of May, the remainder of May. Welcome to everyone who's joined us here today. Welcome to any newcomers and first-timers, and welcome back to any followers and subscribers. And thank you to everybody who takes the time to tune in and to send in your support, feedback, and comments. Thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new. You keep me so busy with personal readings, and it's a joyous kind of busy. It's an honor. Thank you so much. And as many of you know, if you are interested in scheduling a personal reading with me live or recorded, click on the description bar below for more info and contact details. Go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the little About button there. You'll see my email address, maggie1maguire@gmail.com. Please feel free to email me directly. I can usually respond to your request with more info within the first 24 hours. And scheduling actual readings is pretty good too. I do readings full-time, 6 days a week. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule and mine to get you a reading as quickly as possible. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. So if you're interested, shoot me an email. We'll go from there. All right, moving right into this reading. This is for the fire sign of Aries, our gorgeous rams. Let's see what the remainder of May has in store for Aries for May 2019 mid-month. As many of you also know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know your rising sign, your moon sign, your Venus sign, watch those videos as well. They can provide additional clarification and some insight. Okay, Aries, let's see what's in store for you for the remainder of May. We begin with the Two of Swords, feeling a little stuck perhaps. Clarified by the Ace of Swords. We have the Seven of Pentacles, clarified by the Queen of Cups. And overall energy, overall energy from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card from the bottom of the deck, which represents the general focus and energy for the remainder of March. You actually had two cards pop out, and I'm keeping them both. The King of Wands, you, and Judgment. So it looks like Aries, that the remainder of May for many of you is more of an internal, contemplative, I'm considering and thinking about something because I need to make a decision to get out of this stuck place that I'm in. I mean, your overall energy is you kind of standing in your own beautiful fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. For some of you, it can represent another fire sign as well, but I think for many of you, okay, I just got another message here. So the King of Wands is very energetic, dynamic, charismatic, can be easy on the eyes. He's a real go-getter. He tends not to rest on his laurels for very long. He's reached a point of self-discipline and maturity with the character traits inherent to his suit, which is fire sign character traits, fire energy. But he's still a pretty energetic individual, charismatic, cataclysm for change. He works well with others. He's a really great leader. People often look up to him. I feel like for some of you, the accompanying card that came out for your crowning energy for the remainder of May is Judgment, which typically, often Judgment comes up when a decision has to be made, a choice has to be made, a path. You need to decide on a path, which path you're going to take. And you also have the Two of Swords, which represents being kind of stuck at a crossroads, maybe not wanting to face something that's right in front of you, which the blindfold can represent too, kind of having your head stuck in the sand, because if you take the blindfold off, then you will see everything in its clarity for what you need to see it as. And then when the blindfold's off, you're put in a position where you do have to make a decision. A path has to be chosen. There is a choice, a decision that has to be made. And judgment can sometimes represent that this is a second chance, Phoenix rising from the ashes, or a second chance at something. It's a pretty serious major arcana card, and there's an air of finality about it, which means, Aries, that judgment means that air of finality means that whatever you choose, whatever you decide or don't decide, whatever path you take or refusal to take a path, is going to set the stage for something for quite some time to come, and you're not going to be able to change it easily, if at all, after the fact. So choose carefully and choose wisely. It looks like there's a second chance. I feel like there's a second chance. It could be a relationship for some of you. I definitely feel like for many of you it is centered around a specific person. Some of you it might be this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, water sign individual showing up as a female, but could be a male because this is a general reading. So there's this choice, a second chance at making a choice or a decision. Maybe you had a chance before and you made the wrong decision, or you decided, I feel for some of you, made the decision not to make a decision. You continued to ignore something that I think was right in front of you, but you had this blindfold on and you were reluctant or resistant to take a look at something. And usually when we're reluctant or resistant to making a decision or taking a look at something, it usually represents that if we do, it will require us or ask us to change in some way. And well, many of us, are rather change resistant. It's when we look at something, when something is revealed for the reality and the clarity of absolutely what it is, that epiphany light bulb going off over your head, then we cannot claim ignorance anymore or being blindfolded, which is actually what's accompanying the Two of Swords, is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, this is your epiphany. This is information coming in. It can represent success that comes in and cuts through all the extraneous fantasy, illusions, BS, and clarifies something. It's like the light bulb going off on your head, and all of a sudden you're seeing the reality of something. But it feels like, Aries, for a lot of you, perhaps you've had some kind of truth revealed or put to you. And I feel like whatever this information, and it's sitting right next to the Queen of Cups, I feel like this person, regardless of the relationship you have with this person or whether they're a water sign or not, I feel like they've tried to give you a piece of truth, could be their truth and reality about some situation between the two of you, if not an actual relationship. I feel like this has happened before. But for some reason, now it could be you giving them a dose of reality, but I feel like for many of you, it's you. And for some reason, Aries, you didn't want to look at it, because in order to heal whatever this difficult or broken or challenging relationship or situation is, it would require you to look at it in a whole truth. What is your responsibility? What is their responsibility? And it would, moving forward, would require personal changes, maybe changes in how you view yourself or how you historically act in certain ways, or what you've done in the past versus now. And moving forward would require you, because of this information, to have to decide to make changes to maybe your belief systems, or to discard some old belief systems that are no longer working or standing in the way of your joy, but that you keep holding on to because it's who you are and it's the way you've always done things, blah, blah, blah. I don't mean to sound, if I'm coming off critical or judgmental, I don't mean to. This is just what I'm getting. I feel like you've had this opportunity before, but you've ignored it. Or it was just too hard. You just didn't want to put the effort into. But you're being presented, or have been presented recently, with a second chance to take a look at this and make the changes to move forward onto a right path or a better path. But it requires changes to how you normally would have done things in the past. And I feel like this person is asking you to do that, or giving you the opportunity to do this. And that it could be about this person too, because I feel like you're in relationship with this person in some way, romance or otherwise. And I feel like, because judgment has shown up as not only a second chance, but I feel like, Aries, if you choose to remain blindfolded in this, despite what's right in front of you, I feel like that's going to set the stage for quite some time. I feel like if you move forward, it's going to be without this relationship or without this situation in some way. And I don't feel like this chance, whatever this chance represents, whatever this connection is, whatever this chance represents, I don't feel like it's going to come around again. If not for a long time, if ever. I feel like kind of this is the opportunity to look at the truth, the whole truth, the reality of it. Not just them, not just what their part was, but yours as well. And not be afraid, or to being willing to face your fears about changing certain things moving forward. I feel like you hold on to a certain ideology, a way of looking at something or behaving in these situations in the past, because to change would mean to take a chance again, and to take a chance means that you could be hurt again, which is at the root of why most of us cling to old things, because changing means taking a risk and maybe having some hope and faith again moving forward, and that carries, of course, the risk of being hurt. So I feel like you have some kind of second opportunity here that I don't think is going to come around again. So it's up to you what you do with it. And I feel like you're just kind of turning this over in your head over the next couple of weeks or so. We have that Seven of Pentacles that's over the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles next to the Two of Swords. This is a card of thinking about it, reflection, taking stock, evaluating, looking at what you've put into this relationship or this situation. What have I gotten back for it? What have I given? How have I taken care of it? How has it taken care of me? Is it enough to keep going? Can I make this 7 a 10? 10 is completion. Can I turn this harvest into a 10? Am I interested in doing that? Should I just take the harvest that's there and then just leave? What do I do? Assessment, reflection, checking your motives. What do I do? And I feel like for the majority of you, the remainder of May is kind of spent contemplating this. As I always say, we live in a free will zone. You can choose to do or choose not to do or whatever. But judgment here, Aries, I think this is the last chance for this coming around that you're going to have. So it's up to you what you do with it. Wow, feels very kind of intense. All right, let's pull some final advice or guidance card. I think I'm going to pull 2. Any action steps or advice or guidance and how to navigate this. Strength and justice. Excellent advice cards for whatever this situation represents. Strength is about facing your fears, doubts, insecurities. You know, the interesting thing about facing fears is that some of those fears are based on things in the past which may not necessarily apply to the situation now or the people now. Sometimes fears are nothing more than, flipping back the blanket on your bed and looking under the bed and discovering that, the boogeyman is nothing more than dust bunnies under there, or that old chewed up shoe your dog left under your bed. It might not even be valid for you anymore. Some of these fears might be valid, and it's about facing those and dealing with them and moving through that. It takes a great deal of strength, courage, wisdom, insight, true humility to do these, to face our shadow selves, our demons, wrestle with our own perhaps negative ideology or bad habits that we have. Working through those, moving through those. But it's also strength, wisdom, insight, and courage that we gain more of by going through this process. And justice is about doing the right thing. And justice also says that what you reap, you sow. What you put into it is going to be, what you get out of it is going to be entirely dependent on what you put into this moving forward. So again, it feels like the ball's in your court, Aries. It feels like this is a very important decision, not just about the situation itself, but whatever choice you make, it's going to send a message, not just to anybody who's involved, but also to yourself about who you are, who you stand for, and what you're interested in doing with your life moving forward. So pay attention, and pay attention to what your intuition and your inner voice is saying, and do not make the decision based on fear. Do not let fear of what might happen or might not happen be the thing that makes the decision for you. Make justice the thing that makes the decision for you. Strength the thing that makes the decision for you, whatever that decision is. So Aries, that pretty much wraps up a rather intense sort of reading for you. I hope that at least some of you found it helpful and useful. Again, if any of you are interested in scheduling a personal reading with me, particularly those of you for whom this may have resonated, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do a wide variety of readings, love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, career work and finance, investment readings, gift readings. I do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So send me an email if you're interested, and I would be most happy to work with you. You can get all that info by clicking on the description bar below or the description link attached to any of my videos. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June, can you believe it's coming up on June already, the June 2019 general readings. Until then, Aries, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, much wisdom and strength, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.